Hey guys, what's up? It's your boy Miguel back again with another video, and today I have the M4 iPad Pro. This is the 11-inch version, and we have the 256 gig version in our hands. This is the most basic variant, and I think this is a little bit weird. First of all, I think the pricing doesn't make sense, and I think there's a little bit of a weird factor as well with the M4 chip, because even though this is the latest, the greatest M4 chip, and this is the first device that has been introduced with the M4 chip, which is something that Apple doesn't usually do, but I don't think that the M4 chip makes sense in the iPad Pro. And the reason why I'm saying that is because it hinders the capability of the M4 chip, and I'll tell you guys what I'm talking about. Let's go ahead and do a first impression and an unboxing and see what we have. So we have the 11-inch version here, 256 gigs. This starts at around $1,000, so I'll go ahead and mention that as well, which is around 3,600 to 3,700 dirhams. This is the iPad, and this is the first time that I'm actually holding it, and this is a record-breaking thinnest iPad ever. We have some of the paperwork, which has the warranty information, some tips and tricks, and I don't think this has any stickers in it. We also have the black braided USB-C to USB-C cable. Because the iPad is the black or the space gray color, we have the darker black color braided cable outside the box. And then we also have what I believe is a 20-watt charger as well in the box, and that's pretty much it. Okay, this is crazy thin. I mean, I was not expecting that. It feels, wow, it feels really good in the hands despite of how thin it is. It's a very weird feeling because I've never held a tablet or a device that it's this big, it's also this thin at the same time. For comparison's sake, I actually have my iPhone 15 Pro Max over here, and I don't know if you guys can tell the difference in the camera, but it's pretty thin. I mean, wow, it's crispy thin, as I described it in one of my shorts. So this looks like it has Face ID. But I don't think it has the fingerprint sensor over here, so Face ID is still good enough. I actually like it better than the Touch ID. And just looking at the display, this is this is the Ultra Retina XDR display, and there is a visible difference when you look at it from a brightness point of view, because this is now going up to 1,000 nits of brightness. And I think the previous iPad had, if I'm not wrong, I think about 600 nits of brightness, so there is a significant difference. And Apple claims that this goes up to 1,600 nits of peak brightness, but I haven't tested that theory out yet. Now, I want to talk about the pricing, and I want to talk about why it kind of doesn't make sense. So this video is an unboxing, it is a little bit of a review, but it's also kind of a talk about whether this makes sense or not. And to me, it really doesn't make a lot of sense. And the 11-inch iPad, so this one that I have in my hands, as it is 256 gigs of internal storage, this starts at $1,000. Now, if you want to buy the M3 MacBook Pro, that starts with the same specs, 8 gigs of RAM, 256 gigs of internal storage. That starts, I think, at $100 or $200 more. I think it's $1,100 or $1,199, something like that. So at around $200 more, you're getting a proper laptop. Now, let's say that you are a power user and you're on the go. Maybe you are used to editing things with your Apple Pencil. Now you have to buy the Apple Pencil Pro with this, which costs $129. So you are already increasing $129 on top of that. But then if you want to make the most out of it, you also have to buy the Magic Keyboard, which costs around $300. So you are automatically taking the price to above the price of a laptop, a proper laptop, which is proven to do pretty much everything that this can. But also you have to keep in mind that there's a limitation with the iPad OS software that's in here as compared to the Mac OS, because the Mac OS gives you a lot more flexibility to do way more things as compared to the iPad. So that's my point. That's what I kind of don't understand about this. And then not only that, but Apple is known to actually price their products in a way that it's just slightly more to get a better version of your current or the version that you're thinking of buying. So let's say that you go ahead and save $1,000 to go ahead and buy the iPad Pro, the M4 chip with the basic 256 and 8 gigs of RAM. Now you have $1,000, but then you look at the 512 gig version. Now that costs $200 more. So you're like, maybe I should upgrade to $200 more because you can't extend the memory on this. So now you spend $200 more, but then you also think about the 1 terabyte version, which now has a nano protective coating on the front, and that's only available for the 1 TB version and the 2 TB version. So this does not have the nano protection coating. That's only available for 1 TB, 2 TB versions, which now you have to spend $1,500, $1,600 more. And there's one more thing, you don't have the option to upgrade the RAM on this. So it's 8 gigs of RAM for the 256 and 512 gig version. But if you want to upgrade to 16 gigs of RAM, then you have to get the 1 TB version or the 2 TB version, which is now touching nearly $2,000. And that's just for the tablet. That does not include any accessories. It does not include your Apple Pencil. It does not include your keyboard. So if you're spending nearly $2,000 on an iPad, it just doesn't make sense. And that's the problem that I have with Apple products, is that they kind of force you into buying something that you may need or may not need. I mean, I don't know how you want to put it. But the other problem that I have with the M4 is that, yes, the M4 chip is now here. It's probably the most powerful chip that Apple has ever created. But first of all, this is a little bit underclocked. So this is 9 CPU cores and 3 performance cores. So you're not getting the maximum 10 cores that you would get if you had the 1 TB version. So yes, again, if you want to get the chip with the 10-core CPU and the 4-core performance, then you have to go again buy the 1 TB and 2 TB versions. And then even if you do all of that, you are limiting an iPad with an M4 chip. First of all, this doesn't have any vents. Now, if you are having an M4 chip, you're probably going to expect it to outperform everything else. You also can expect it to get a little bit hot. But putting that in an iPad, which is pretty much closed from all sides and doesn't have any intake of air, is kind of limiting the performance. So this is like buying a V12 engine car, but then also not letting it go past, 80 miles an hour. So it's kind of confusing. That's my problem that I have with this. Otherwise, this is a great tablet, and I don't think this is a tablet that you can use for work or for editing. So if I wanted to edit videos, I probably would have a really difficult time, unless you're someone that is a graphic designer, or you're someone that is a different type of creator that has been used to editing or working on an iPad. Then maybe in that instance, maybe it makes sense. But apart from that, I don't really see the sense of this. You do have a 4K camera here, so this is a 12 megapixel camera that will shoot in 4K video resolution. The front camera, I believe, will still shoot in 1080p, and you also have a little bit of an improved display with 120 hertz Pro motion display. And also, I did mention that now you have a higher brightness setting, so you are able to go up to 1000 nits of peak brightness, and in auto mode, I believe 1600 nits of peak brightness. If we look at the performance on Antutu, then this is pretty much as good as it gets. 2.49 million points is what you get out of this, so there's no issue when it comes to performance. I just think that it doesn't make sense to put this powerful of a chip on a tablet, and I don't think that you can edit on this, because at the end of the day, you're going to need a keyboard, you're going to need a proper software where you can do that, and I don't think that this kind of lets you do that. So if it was me, I would ask myself, should I go ahead and buy this, or spend nearly half of that amount on a proper M3 MacBook Pro? This was just a quick review, a quick first-hand impression of the iPad Pro. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.